you're the first one I'm bringing on the podcast that is, from Ukraine, but is you said you're half Russian, half Ukrainian. So you really truly understand what's going on the ground over there in Ukraine. You also speak English, so you have a wider perspective and understanding a little bit about certain things. You're also running a business over there. You're hoping to open a business over here, and I would like to start with telling you a little bit. I think that on the last podcast I had somebody who said that Americans are a little bit tired of this whole thing. That they feel that they have to spend, not just with Ukraine, in general, Americans are tired of spending money on everybody else and not focusing enough on themselves. So what do you think about that?
Well, what I like about United States and American people, that's the feeling when you feel yourself complete inside. When you have the job, you have the good health, you have families, you have houses, you have everything you need for what you really need, and then you start to feel that you need to help someone else feel good too.
Right.
What's what the Americans do
Right.
all over in the world, and we
Right.
really lack this thing in Ukraine because everybody is about themselves. The majority of people doesn't have enough what they do, what they will feel it's enough for them, and now they can start helping others.
Right.
So I think that it's part of American culture. What I've seen is you cannot just quit helping others. You won't be an American then. That's the way I see Americans, and that's the way I feel they are when I talk to them for 20 years already, and I have a lot of friends all over the United States. And that's the reason I understand that you need to save probably some money that you are helping with other countries are just waste of money, and it's true. So you need to figure out what is truly needed to help and what is not. That's why I don't think that American will quit helping. I'm not talking really about Ukraine in particular. In general, yes.
You're saying the culture here.
Yeah, I think that's the American culture. That's the way you are. You cannot live without helping others feel good too. Because when you feel good inside, you want everybody else feel good too. And that's why then you feel more comfortable. You don't feel comfortable when there is a poor person or the person that really needs help, and you can do it, and that will make you happy. It's not about making money or something back from this.
So I don't know if you're familiar, probably are, that America is has a huge debt and deficit, and also there's a lot of problems here.
Yeah.
Like a lot. That's I'm just being devil's advocate here. And what people are telling me that we have enough issues here. Why do we need to get involved everywhere else? And so I agree with you about charity. But what if I make this point to you, right? Like, fix your home first. You know that concept.
That's what I was told. I talked to my friends a couple of days ago from Ukraine, and they keep asking me why Americans want to stop helping us. And my explain was from the point of view what I see there right now. I said, just give them time to fix their house, to get it cleaned, to get it working properly, and then we'll get back to helping others. They just need time to figure out how things work. Just like imagine you move to a new house, and you just need to get the things working the way you want. They will work, and then they will get. Just give them the time.
So another question for you. What I'm hearing is, I'm trying to approach this as a baby. Okay, this conversation, and people are saying that America shouldn't have gotten involved in general in the beginning. And I'm curious about your thoughts. Like they feel like America created this problem there, specifically Ukraine and Russia. And it wouldn't have escalated if America didn't say, you know what, here's warheads, here's the guns, go fight them. If they didn't do that, then maybe there would have been a different, like Trump right now, he's saying that would have not started if he was the president.
Well, I think the reason he is saying that because he believes he believes in his good relationship with Putin, and he believes that he won't go against what the Trump says, or not the Trump says. He won't spoil their relationship. That's the only reason, I guess, because I think it's not about the U.S. It's about the Russia itself and their leaders. They had it. They don't like free Ukraine by the border with Russia. They don't want to see the prosperous country, former Soviet Union country, who succeed just near the border, because it will influence their political system in their country.
In Russia.
The people will see that, hey, these people behind the border are living much better than we do. That's the sphere of influence, and it's starting to going away, to slipping it towards Europe. I think that's the problem.
You don't think it's about resources, about cultural attachment? I mean, Russians are attached also to Ukraine. That was some of their oldest cities are in Ukraine.
Well, they are probably are attached, but this is the majority of people in the 60s. The people who lived part of their life in Soviet Union.
I see.
For me, for example, I was 8 years old when the Soviet Union fell apart.
Collapsed. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't really felt that life before. Then I started to study at schools. I went to high school in the United States. I had in my university, all the teachers were from United States. So my feeling and my education is more like pro-American.
Like democratic,
Yeah.
you're saying? Is that what you mean?
That's why, yes. And I have a lot of friends like this, so we don't feel like we are part of this country. We are Ukrainians, we're independent, and what I keep telling people, that Ukrainians are more likely like Americans, not the Europeans.
Why is that?
It's the way that the way we love to live our lives. For example, if the house, we like it to be big. If the car, we like to be big. If it's about like spending money or buying something or sharing with other friends and people, it's more like United States people. Europeans, they are, I cannot say that Europeans are in some point not really what I feel, not really good, but they are, how you say it's creepy. They don't want to spend money. Their houses are small, their cars are small. They try to be, so everything will be money efficient, and we don't like it.
Oh, I understand. Ukrainians are a little. Yeah, I understand that because I know a lot of Ukrainians, so I understand what you're saying. Okay, but still, as much as you are, say, you want certain things. I mean, I don't think you can define America, but because they like big houses and big cars, or their spending habits, which I agree that's a big thing. But
That's the way you live your lives.
right, but culturally, I mean, if you ask an American, you are closer to a Russian than you are to an American. If you ask anybody in the world, I mean, you might feel that way.
Well,
but,
no, that's maybe
Right.
it's because my personal
personal
understanding and point
right,
of view.
right.
But what I see and feel is going on right now in our country, we will be hostile to each other for generations right now. Because the kids are growing up, they waking up every single night with these drones flying all over our houses. These missiles keep hitting like the infrastructure objects. We're sitting in the homes during the winter times without power supply, without heating, and these are young children. They're growing up with these things.
I understand. So it's
And
going to create more hate.
Yeah, and they grew up with the sounds of sirens every single day and every single night. So I think it's 2 generations at least. With their children might have less anger, I guess, to this, but not my generation, but our children. It will be a lot of years to go unless we can talk to each other again on a regular basis, as we used to before 2014.
Yeah, but there was always Ukrainians always felt like they were, weren't treated right by the Russians. That's always been that way. There was I remember from the Ukrainians that I, were friends of mine in Toronto, and they're saying, whatever war that was World War I, or I'm not sure exactly, but the, Russians did some horrible things to Ukrainians, from what I understood. So they have a little trauma from that.
But it wasn't
Already, so
it was, but it wasn't so hard as it is right now.
As this right now.
It's like the first year of real big war is going on. A lot of people died. A lot of people get wounded. A lot of people are without their houses. They need to move somewhere and start their lives all over again. Actually, I have a friend who lived in Donetsk, near
Yeah.
Donetsk, the airport, and his house was destroyed in 2014. Then he moved to Kiev region and lived in Bucha. He built another house there, and it was again destroyed in 2022. And it's like, and he said, well, and it still lives in Ukraine. He moved again,
And he still stays there,
and
right?
he is building a new house again in the western Ukraine.
Tell me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of Ukrainians who want to move, who want to leave.
Well, what I think is 3 years have passed. Those people who wanted to leave and move, they did it already. There are a lot of people who moved and want to get back to Ukraine. I know a lot of people, and it's really a problem because I have a lot of friends of my age who are businessmen. And by this age, they usually, if you do business and you succeed, you know what to do. And they moved out when the war began to Europe, to Canada, to United States.
Right.
They lived there for 3 years already. They built a new life there. They built a new businesses there, but they still want to go back to Ukraine when it's over.
What is going to happen? So, can you try to paint me a picture of what it looks like when it's over? What is the country going to focus on? What do you think? I mean, from what I'm seeing is like they're trying to create their own international infrastructure of business, right? They want to bring in other countries into their country and create business relationships.
Yeah, that's what the business people want.
Wow.
They really
Isn't that
want.
good? Isn't that good for everybody?
It's good, but you need to create the business like environment, so the people from other countries would like to go and invest money. They need to feel safe, that their money will
100%.
be safe, their money will be protected, there will be rule of law, so they know that they are protected, then they will invest. So what we need to do first, we need to create this environment for investment in Ukraine. And there is a lot of work in this area to do before the money will go to Ukraine. There are certain businessmen, people that go not well. I'd like to consider myself such a business person who go to United States, who go to other countries, who talk to people, who try to make them believe in Ukraine and believe in me and invest in Ukraine to talking to me. But I understand that this is my, if something will go wrong, this is my responsibility will be, not the country, because they believed in me. They invested in me. So it's really hard to make this decision, and it's not hard to find the person who will do this, who will believe and will invest.
So
It's hard to take responsibility for this.
Of course. Let's take an example of your business, okay? Can you tell me a little bit? It's a boat. You're creating.
Well, in Ukraine, I own the business. It's a recreational products business. We have a dealership. It's not a dealership. It's a boat dealership. So we sell equipment for recreation. It's like yachts, boats, jet skis, ATVs, side-by-side vehicles, and all this equipment that people usually used to use for fun. And it's third year in a row when in Ukraine it's not allowed to go to use inland and coastal waters for recreation.
You're not allowed.
You're not allowed. So that's what I'm trying to explain what's going on with my business right now in Ukraine for the people all over the world. I say, imagine you own a boat or you own a car dealership. You have a showroom and you have a big service center. And the next day you were told that it's not allowed to drive cars anymore. Right. What would you do? This is what happened to our business in Ukraine.
So you have no option but to go international.
Well, we have a couple of options. What we did, we kind of adjust our business to, we sell ATVs. You are allowed to go in the woods and drive ATVs. Besides, these vehicles are usually used for like special services, for the rescue services or something like that. We switched a little bit to servicing the marine police, the rescue services on the water, so we do service for their equipment. We switched to because we have a lot of days without electricity. We switch to power generators. We sell them. We do maintenance for them, but it's not. It's the business. It's the way that we can keep our business working, but not
Alive, yeah.
grow. So that's what we come up with idea. So let's try to do.
Who is interested in dealing with business wise in Ukraine? The U.S. Who else?
Well, Europe is interested too. Like the
Europe?
Germany, Germany
Okay.
is really interested in
Germany,
doing
okay.
business. Spain.
Okay.
Well, the Spain is mostly because there are a lot of people who moved from Ukraine to Spain,
Ah.
and they want to be in
Right.
Spain, but make money in Ukraine, because if you go, for example, real estate, it's much more profitable, the real estate business in Ukraine, than anywhere in the world.
Why?
The rent out rates compared to the prices of real estate are pretty high. You can make like 10% a year on real estate.
It's pretty high.
So the construction of real estate, the labor is cheap. Well, it used to be cheap. It's not cheap anymore. That's another reason what we will get back to our business, the boating business. We do the math like before the war in 2021. What my partner in Ukraine, who is the owner of the boat manufacturing company, he do this research. He wanted to build a factory in Canada, and we come up with that it's much cheaper to build in Ukraine and ship it to Canada. But it's not that way anymore in Ukraine. The labor went up like 2 times, and it's because of war. There are no. There is a big problem with young men to find
Skilled labor.
the problem with labor force, especially it's young men, because
Right,
they are
right.
drafted to
They're
military.
drafted, yeah.
There is no young man walking around the streets in Ukraine anymore, and that's why if you find someone who is a specialist and you can give some protection from being drafted to military, the price for this will be twice as it used to be. So then maybe it's another idea to make a factory in the United States already. And what?
So that's your plan.
Well, it's like
Seems like that's where it's going.
that's a plan for the next 5-6 years.
Even
if,
those
if
who
we succeed.
So even those who finish military duty and come back to the civil life, what do you think they'll do?
That's another problem. We have over about 1 million people who are in the military right now. And when the war is over, I think that at least half of them will be released. And then we'll look for the jobs. But you need to take into consideration that we need to get these people back into society in the way that they will fit there and feel comfortable again. Because these people, they saw all the horrible stuff that's going on during the war. They slept in the woods. They saw the deaths. They saw the horrible things.
Yeah.
And we really need to create the business-like environment so we can get these people back, find them the job that they fit with them, that they will fit in, and they will be comfortable again in our society. And that's a big problem, and I think that's probably will be one of the biggest problems. A lot of these people, they have wounds, they have disabilities and stuff like that, and we need to adjust all of the business environment to this so they can go freely inside, outside, talk to people.
Wow.
We will have a lot of job to do.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah,
We need to create and invest in some some funds. We need to invest in the places where they can come talk to each other so they can adjust to normal life. And another problem we have, they fortunately, thanks God, they get paid for their service right now in the military reasonably good money for Ukraine, not in compared to what they do worth much more than they get paid for. But when the war ends and they will get back to the regular life, the Ukrainian business, well, at least the one that is still operating in Ukraine, they won't be able to pay so much so high salaries at the beginning to these people.
Right.
And then there will be another problem. They will be questioning all the businessmen, the people who create workplaces. Well, we fight for your business. We'd spend like at least 3 years of our life protecting you, yeah, and you are not paying us what we deserve. We need to find a way how to solve these problems too. So I think the labor force will go up in Ukraine even when the war ends. We have a lot of problems that we will face after the war, but at least the people won't die anymore. That's what we need to
That's
get.
what. Yeah,
That's,
I
we
agree.
need to
I
stop
agree.
dying people. We can solve all the problems. Especially Ukrainians are really hardworking people.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
We like to find solutions to any problems, and we will do that. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will take time. Uh, mm, yes, there will be a lot of difficulties. What I say again, the people will question. We fought for you. What did you do to help us?
It's funny you say that. It's the same problem here. I have a few soldiers who are, snipers and all this kind of stuff, and the same problem: PTSD and trauma, and it's hard for them to get back into society. Suicide rates are high.
Well,
All this.
they keep closed, and they keep with the same people as they are. And what we need to get them feel comfortable. We need to get them into the society. We need to get them in the normal life. We need to get them sleep well and not wake up in the middle of the night because something is going on. And I have a couple of friends who are fighting there. They come to Cherkasy, and it's pretty much quiet city, but they wake up in the night because it's quiet. They say something is going to happen. They're
Yeah.
not to be quiet. It's always like all the explosions and stuff like that. These people will have hard time adjusting to real normal life.
I see. So, what programs are there right now in Ukraine that help?
Well, we have a lot of the organizations right now that create the hubs, the spaces for these veterans. They can get together. They can help. They can get the help in terms of physiology help, in terms of talking to psychologists. They can help them with something. We can help them with finding some work that they can work for. We can get what we do in Ukraine. I'm a part of the team that we're trying to get them together and do the sport activities like championships for disabled, for veterans. The guy actually came. We took him to the couple of competitions that you saw that they were running, swimming, all kinds of activities. We try to get them into sports, and it will help to get to release
Totally,
this.
100%.
That's what we do. And
So, let me ask you today: should Ukraine and have not got into war? What do you think?
we didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice.
We have, well, the choice was we either fight for our country, for our land, for our nationality, for us, or we just give it up to Russia and we became a part of Russia. And we don't want to be a part of Russia. So we really
What
didn't
was the
have a
biggest
choice.
issue for not wanting to be a part of Russia?
Well, what we feel what I understand right now, and I'm 100% sure about that, we are different right now. We don't want to be a part of this country, and that's why we separated from them in 1991. We are different, we have our own culture. We used to be, before 2014, we used to be good friends. We do a lot of business between each other.
Yeah.
We lived a good life together. But when they first invaded, these things went wrong, and they're getting worse each year. And we really don't want to be part of this country. We are an independent country with our own culture, which is really different, with our own mentality, which is different. And we want to live our life in our country, and
Yeah.
that's it. We don't want to invade anybody. We want to go to any other countries. We just want, it's like, this is my home. I want to live in my house. That's it. And if you like, we can do business. If you don't like, we won't do business. But it's not that anymore. So we need
Gotcha.
we had to fight for our country, and I'm pretty sure we succeeded in this. We still Ukraine, and we remained Ukraine, and everybody knows about Ukraine right now.
That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, Well, Trump is trying to negotiate some kind of deal, I'm guessing. What do you think about that? You're hopeful or not really?
I am.
Okay.
Well, my point of view is we have a lot of resources in Ukraine, but we lack technology to work on these resources. And
Right.
like US
There was some kind of a deal he gave.
well, there is a deal
Zelensky,
that
right?
they are going actually to talk about it tomorrow. That Zelensky is coming to Washington
Right.
tomorrow, and we have a lot of resources, like I said before, and we don't have the technology to work on some of these resources. So they're just laying there for 30 years already, and we do nothing with them.
Right.
So I think from the business point of view, it's a good idea to get a partner to work on these resources and make money out of them. Well, we either give it away or, well, it's a much better idea to share these resources and make money together with the United States than just give it away to.
You think that investing or creating business relationships with Ukraine, between Ukraine and the U.S., is it's valuable for both sides.
Yes.
How do you see that?
Yeah, I really see Ukraine has a lot of talented people, hardworking people, and we do a really high quality, good things in Ukraine even right now, which will be a good value in, for example, let's take in the United States. And I have a couple of really good examples of this already, like our friend Gary, who just saw this boat, and the guys
Right.
who work on this boat, they said, this is amazing.
Yeah.
We need more of this there.
Yeah. So those investing in with the business in Ukraine, they need to understand the culture. One of the culture thing about the culture is that men and women there culturally have integrity. They're hardworking. Okay. They.
You can rely on them.
That's what I'm saying.
They're good business people.
That I know personally as well, so I can vouch for that for sure. How would they go about? I'm assuming the average individual here who has a business or has business, who has money, or wants to build something, doesn't really know who to talk to about that necessarily. So how would they reach out? Who would they have to talk to?
Well, there are a lot of business associations that working like U.S. Ukraine Business Association. There is that's a big association located in the United States, and they get the people together who wants. You can go there and say, "Hey, I want to invest in some construction machinery or something like that in Ukraine," and then we'll get you connected. There are actually a lot. You didn't really need. What I'm trying to do right now, you don't really need to invest money in Ukraine. You just, if you start buying made in Ukraine, in United States, this is a good investment in Ukraine. So what we are trying to do, we're trying to import the goods that been manufactured in Ukraine to United States and just sell them there.
Well, what do you see? What is the value? Let's take the boat business, okay? I want to buy a boat. Why would I buy from there versus here?
Well, DAO boats are a little bit different. They are really popular in Europe, especially between the anglers who do participate in different competitions. So they are really high quality boats.
Like a fishing boat you
Yeah.
mentioned. Okay,
Yeah,
let's take a fishing boat. People love fishing here.
What about fishing boats? It's really different. And I met a lot of the anglers here in the United States at the boat show, and they said, "Hey, we know these boats. They are amazing. We really need to have this in the United States." They perform really good in the rough waters. They have plenty of space for fishing. They made of really good materials. They made of actually the German aluminum.
I see.
And the biggest buyer of these boats are Germans. But you know how skippy they are to the quality and everything these days. So they're really fond of these boats. So
Got it.
well, they are different, and the market is so big that our boats will find its customers there. I'm pretty sure about that.
Right.
And the main reason is you don't need just to take your money and invest in Ukraine while it's going on right now, or you're not sure about your investment. You just what you can do, you can buy from U.S. company the products made in Ukraine, and this will help us a lot already.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, okay, besides the charity part, those who don't care about the charity part and want to do, they want to buy a boat. We talked about quality. Quality is top-notch quality. The craftsmanship is fantastic because I know Ukrainians work But what about cost?
We still a pretty good cost for United States right now.
Really?
We fit perfectly at this point. I really hope it will the same. It will remain the same, because there are brands. Our brand is pretty much small, and we invest a lot of things in quality, in design, in the way it looks like, in quality of materials. But the majority of our main competitors in United States, they are like mass market producers.
Right.
So all of these things lack a little bit in this.
Absolutely.
So you can, if you can, that's why we are not a mass market product. We are like the product for individuals who will see the advantages of this boat, and then they will buy them.
So how do I buy this boat? How do I find it online?
Yeah, I think it will be, just give us a month, and you will know about these boats. We will do a lot of marketing. We do a lot of social media. We're just waiting for the first delivery of the first boats, and then we'll try to work harder on this on the territory of the United States. We have agreements with the anglers in the Midwest area to show these boats to them. We have agreements with U.S. anglers to participate on our boats in European competitions. We will give them the boat to do the competition. So we are working on that right now really hardly. So, and the idea was maybe we can create the big hub where we can bring all kinds of different boats made in Ukraine with the brand like made in Ukraine,
right,
to share on the Ukrainian market or US market. But we need to make sure that this brand will associate with the quality, the good, with the quality and good products. So they know, well, they made in Ukraine, they know what to do. They know how the boat should like and perform.
Of course.
That's what we are looking for. That's why we kind of spread. We delivered one boat to San Diego to Gary. It's kind of different boat. It's a rigid inflatable boat, but it's big. It's 32 feet
32
boat.
feet, yeah.
And we bring aluminium boats to Midwest, where the biggest market for these boats is. And it's also 22 feet long boat. So we try to spread, because we spread around the territory of the United States, in the territory where the boats are mostly used, because in salt water and the rough sea, you mostly use the fiberglass boats, and the inland waters, you can use aluminum boats.
Right, right.
Hopefully it will work, and this is my main idea. You don't have to invest. You can buy there, use it, have fun, enjoy, and this way you help us
Sounds great.
to build our economy.
Sounds great. Okay, so they can customize whatever they want, right?
Well, you can, yes.
They can. Okay, great.
It's
so
not the mass market. It's really, but it's the more important is I've been in boating business for 18 years already. We have a big service center for the boats, and I personally myself get inside every single boat, fishing boat, within these 18 years. So I know how they build inside. I know how the structure of US-made, American-made boats inside. I know the difference. I know how to explain it, and I understand how to show this boat to US market, and to explain what the difference is, what you should see in this boat, how it perform, and why you should buy it.
Okay,
I really
great.
hope it will work based on my experience, and we'll see how it will perform in the future.
I mean, it sounds like you got the main, important parts down. You got the quality down, which is very important. I mean, Americans do care about the quality.
Yes.
But it seems like you get the cost down as well. How long does it take to usually get here? Shipping time?
Well, it's take 6-7 weeks for the delivery. The delays might be unexpected, especially right now in Ukraine. You cannot say what will happen tomorrow.
Right.
So it's better to have what we are trying to do. We're trying to get a warehouse and stock of the boats here in the United States, and then sell them, because taking money from the customers and promising them to delivery of 8 weeks, we might fail. We don't want to do it.
Of course.
So we need to make sure that we will fit in this timing, quality, and everything like this, especially right now when we are not uncertain what will build. These things are flying over the factory every day, and they can hit anywhere they can fall down. Anything can happen. So it's tough times for Ukrainian business people right now, and the way that, well, when I participated last year in American Council's program for Ukrainian entrepreneurs in the United States, it was funded by Department of State, and we went to Washington and talked to the professor of the University of Washington. Well, he said, I was asked to tell you about how to do business in the United States. That's he told us. But if you are a young businessman from Ukraine, you are in war for 2 years already, and your business still succeeds and operates. What I need is to tell me how to do business. That's not me. It's not about you. You know how to do it. If you succeed in such conditions, then you can
Right.
teach us how to do it. So it was like inspiring talk by him, and then that moment I realized that we should try to do something internationally.
Right. Right. Very smart. Very smart. Well, I'm excited. 1 month, you said, right?
Well, they are at the border with Canada. Well, it's kind of fun because we decided to participate in Toronto boat show first and then move boats to the United States. We want to go to North American market. But the delay in delivery of the boats for the boat show was about 1 month later. So they arrived 2 weeks later, the show ended. And they still stuck in Toronto. We're trying to get them out there to Chicago. It's like 600 miles away, but we cannot get them for 3 weeks already. It's the
Really?
paperwork, it's the bank details, it's opening a company, transferring money to Canada. It's a lot of things that I didn't even think it will be so hard and will take so much time.
Right.
So they are like 6 miles away, not 600 miles
Yes.
away from
Yes. Yes.
from the Chicago, and we cannot get them. Well, hopefully next week we will get them there. I said 1 month, so well, I told already the ladies and the guys in Chicago boat show you will see them in a month, but the months have passed already and they still haven't seen them. That's why.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. We'll do our best.
Yes. Yes. I hope this ends soon. Um,
We
yeah.
really need to connect our countries.
Oh, 100%.
The
There's no doubt.
United States have a lot of opportunities in Ukraine, and we will have a lot of good things to work with the United States. We have a lot of really talented young businessmen who know already that we have what we really lack right now. We have a lot of young men that left Ukraine, educated like young men, and they're just sitting all over the world. And we really need to get them back to make our economy grow.
I see.
And it's another big problem. Our government is trying to get these people back, trying to create a good environment for them to get back to Ukraine. But what I see and understand, until we cease the fire between our two countries, nobody will go back.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we really need these young men, the young people. I understand that Europe needs them too.
Yeah.
It's the young people, they're young, they're educated. You don't have to spend time and money for their education. They are young, they're young, energetic, they want to work, they want to grow. Who wouldn't want these people to be in their country? But it's our people. We need to get them to, we need to make them want to go back to Ukraine and do the business there. I understand that we just saying we need them, it's not enough. We need to create environment for that people will want to go there and do the business in Ukraine, not anywhere in the world. And it's another big work we need to do. And that's where we probably will need help also.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully, people will get some insight about from your perspective as well, for sure, in details. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.